everyone, Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'd like to show you how I made this theatre card. Oops, I've not got hold of the end. What's the matter with me? So this is the card we're going to be making. This one is using the World of Good papers. I think that's what they're called. Hang on, let me have a look. They're called World of Good specialty paper, along with the World of Good Memories and More cards, and the can't find it. The Tasteful Touches stamp set, along with these beautiful dies that come with this set. So that is our project for today. Here's my other card, and if you look on my Facebook group or my blog, you will find this card where I have done this for my mum. This one I haven't finished because I'm not sure whether I'm going to make it for her birthday or whatever yet, so I haven't finished the front of it. But this is the card we're going to make today, another man's card using these beautiful cards from the Memories and More pack. So let's pop that out of the way. We're going to do this all in basic grey. These cards are so beautiful, look at them. These are the small cards which measure 4 inches by 3 inches. And these are the big cards that measure 4 inches by 6 inches. And there's some beautiful ones with the stickers as well as the cards. So you can use the pack for lots of different things. Now I've used one sheet for the back and 2 little sheets for the front that match. So that's the pack, and they are really gorgeous, and they're in the new catalogue, and they are $19.25 in Australian dollars. Now I've done a fair bit of the stuff because, as you know, I don't bring my big shot into the picture, so I've actually done quite a few of the items, but I will show you what we will need anyway. So we will need let me see, is that the same one? Yes. We will need a front and a back that measure the same, and they measure 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. And then you will need a DSP layer for the front that measures, now let me see, 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Now I've used my die on here already, so I'll show you what I did there. And so let's pop them on one side. We will need 2 pieces of card for the side that measure 4 1/16, which is just one smidgen narrower than this card, and it measures 5 7/8, the same length. So I've already done one, so because you don't want to see me do the same thing twice, so I've done that. You will need 2 pieces of designer series paper, or in this case I'm using these Memories and More cards that measure, let's see, oh goodness, I'm having trouble reading this today, 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So you'll need 2 of those, and I've already cut the other one. This is for the back of the card, and this is the other piece of card. This was a 6-inch card, so this will turn up the right way. This measures 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. You will need 2 small pieces that are your tabs on the side that measure 5 1/8 by 3/4 of an inch. You will need your bridge piece that measures 4 1/8 by 1 1/4 inches, and your piece of designer series paper that measures 3 1/8 by 1/2 inch, and then your writing panel on the back, which measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So let's get started. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you don't mix up your front and sides, because there's only a 1/16 of an inch difference in the size. And we're going to put glue our designer series paper on, and using our rectangular frames we are going to cut out the middle. Now, as you know, I don't bring my big shot into the picture, and so I've already done that. This is a non-Stampin' Up one, as I already had them, and this measures 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. So that's roughly the size you're going to need of your rectangle. Oh, I've put 2 3/4. I will have to change. Let me write, just mark my so I get that correct. Okay, so, and I've cut that out, so this is a nice piece to use on another card another time. And this is what we're going to do, and I've actually cut out one side already of this, so I've used my 1 inch circle punch, and I've popped that in about just under halfway and cut that out, the same on that side there. So they are done, ready for your finger holes. So now what we're going to do now is, this is how it's very, very complicated, I know, but we're going to make our tabs on the front. Now, I did them one way, but I've since found an easier way. So what I want you to do is to, on the long side, put a score line at 1/2 inch and at both ends. Now, it's just easier to do it that way. And 1/2 inch at the other end as well. And we're going to glue these onto that front panel now. Now, this might sound like I'm being a bit all over the place, but it's the easiest way I found to do this card. So turn under the one end completely and put a bit of glue on there. And making sure that you butt it right up in this corner. It doesn't matter whether it's the top corner or the bottom corner, but right up into the corner of the card, so that it's flush with the edge here, as well as the side. And we're going to do that on the other side as well. Oops, my glue fell. Oh gosh, I'm finding I've got so much stuff on my desk at the moment. So we're going to make sure that that is flush with the top and the sides, and you'll know whether it is or not. So, and that's that. Now with this bit here, oops, I found that turning it over the top of this piece just makes that little easier to do. So just making sure that that's that on the top edge of that. And now we're going to put a bit of glue on this end here and pop this one down on this side, making sure that it's the same as the other one. It's butted up against both sides, bottom and the side. And the same on this one here. Now we're getting into the swing of things. Well, I hope we are. And that one's there. Now we're going to actually cut these again. Now the only reason I didn't do them all at once is because some punches don't go through them, and you don't want to damage your punch by trying to go through 3 layers all at once. It's just not worth the effort of damaging your punch to do that. So now that's the front of the card done with our 2 flaps on the back. So let's pop that one out of the way, and that I'm putting that with my back of my card so I know that they're together. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in our 2 sides. Now I've already done one, so because we don't need to see me do it twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our scoreboard again, and we're going to score this, oops, on the long side again. Now we're just going to move it just away from the edge on this hair, so it's like a fingernail width away from the edge, and we're going to score this at 3-inch mark. because I haven't got my trimmer in here. If I had my trimmer in here, I would say do it at 2 15/16. Then I'm going to push it back up against that edge, and I'm going to score it at the 1.5 inch mark. So I have 2 lines. So just the width away, the 3 inch mark, push it back, the 1.5 inch mark. If you're doing this on your trimmer, you can do it at the 1.5 inch mark and the 2 15/16 mark. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure that we have this the opposite way to this one. So you need it to be the short pieces and the long pieces. So one is this way and one's the other way. So, and we're going to fold this under, so it makes a mountain fold, and under again, so we have another mountain fold. Making sure that you have like a C shape here. And we're going to open that up, and we're going to use our pencil and our ruler, wherever my ruler has gone, and starting from this edge at the bottom, as you can see I've done one there, so we're going to put that in there, and we're going to measure in 3/4 inch from this side. So you've got your 1.5 inch side, and we're going to go in 3/4 inch. So 1.5 inch side, and we're going to put a mark at the 3/4 inch mark. And then we're going to turn our piece of card sideways, and we're going to measure up from the bottom 1/2 inch from that mark. And then from that mark we're going to measure again another 3/4 inch. Oops, that's more than 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch, and draw a line up. So we have a line on here. So we've gone 3/4 inch in from our small side, 1/2 inch up, and then a 3/4 inch line. So let's say that 3/4, 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 inch up. Yep. Now we're going to do, we need our ruler again, so we're going to just move this piece of paper out of the way a bit because I need my cutting board, and I'm going to cut a slot along that line from the top to the bottom of that line. And now I'm going to move my ruler across just a smidge, and oops, make another cut line. So we have like a slot. So cut it at the top and the bottom, my silly thing, and pull that piece out. Let's put my knife away so I don't cut myself on it. Stand up, glue. And so we have our slot on this side here, as you can see on the through the white paper. That's how it goes, and that one's on that side there too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to glue our other piece of designer series paper onto the front, making sure that they butt up together here in the middle, and that if it's a design like this where the pattern is the same way, it is go in the same way. Otherwise it will look funny. So got a bit of a frog in my throat again today, and this is the cold weather. It's not really agreeing with me at the moment. So we have our two pieces here like so, and they are don't tell me I've done that on the wrong one. I've done that on the wrong one. So I'm going to have to pull this down, and I'm going to have to take my 1/8 of an inch off of this. After me saying to you, be careful, I did it myself. So I've got to take off 1/16 of an inch off of this. There we go. That's who 1/16 of an inch is. It's so tiny, it's not funny. For the back panel, it's not going to hurt that mine is 1/16 of an inch different. I just should have been more careful. So that's our side panels done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stamp our back panel and our feather and our saying for the inside of our card, which I've already cut out and I've put somewhere around here. Oh, there they are. Which I've already cut out and put there. So we're going to do the using the basic grey ink. I'm going to stamp my saying for my inside of my card over here, and that will then get cut out using the die, along with 2 feathers, which I will cut. And guess who will get these? I'm sure you can't guess for the life of you. And I've already done those, so they're already there, cut out, ready to go, along with our saying. Now they have to be hand cut. That gets cut with this beautiful die here, this one here. Okay, so that's that done. Then for my my back of my card, I'm going to stamp these feathers again, but I'm going to stamp them in a way that they look like they're overlapping. And I'm doing this in basic grey. Wow, they look gorgeous overlapping like that. And my saying that I'm going to put in, the good things in life are better with you. No, I'm not. We're going to put in, you are so special. My goodness. I can't even remember what I was going to put in there. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. So let's pop that on that block, and we're going to pop this on here. And this says, you are so special. And that's ready for the back of our card now. So let's start assembling our card. We've got our pieces here. As I say, I've already stamped those and cut them out. And I've also cut out my saying that says just saying hello. We have our 2 side panels. We have our front panel. And we have our back panel. Now all we have to do is our bridge. So let's make our bridge, which again we need our ruler and our pencil, and we need to mark in 1/2 inch from the end and 1/2 inch from the other end. And we're going to just draw a line across at this mark on both ends. Now we've done that, we're going to bring in our scoreboard one more time, and this time we're going to pop this in on the short side, and we're going to, let me find the page, we are going to, I don't know what we're going to do. We are going to cut this at, mark this from that pencil line down at the 3/8 of an inch mark down to the other pencil line. We're going to turn it 180 degrees, and we're going to do the same again. So from that pencil line at 3/8 of an inch mark down to the other pencil line, and that's what we're going to do there. This has been a bit of a hard one for me to do, and I'm sorry if I feel that you feel that I'm not really with it over this, but this is how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. And there goes all my notes on the floor. So what we're going to do is from that line we're going to cut up and cut this tiny piece here away. I had so much trouble with the whole lot, including writing the tutorial, which I ended up engaging a friend, Frances, to help me, as I could not work for the life of me how to write things. It was one of those really strange projects for me, this has been. Okay, so we've cut those away, so we've got like an eye, I guess, an eye. And we're going to pop our piece of designer series paper onto that. That gives that all time to dry. There we go, so that's gorgeous. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in our back panel and one of our sides, and we're going to fold this in half so that the two ends meet here, and we're going to put glue on this 1.5 inch end that is close to the opening. And then we're going to glue the open end onto, in this case, to the end of the card. So the open end of the card is close to the end of the card. And making sure that it butts up nicely on all three sides. And when it's open, it will be like a C shape, if you can see it from there. Yeah, see how that piece of card is a C shape. And now we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So making sure that your open end on this one is the other end. And this isn't very straight, so that's better. And we're going to pop some glue on the back of that panel, that 1/2 inch panel without the slot. And we're going to glue this onto the other end of this card, this back panel. Making sure that the sides and the bottom, or the open end, open. So when it looks like this shape, just making sure that this pattern here is the correct way up. It doesn't matter whether at this stage you're upside down or not, as long as these slots are at the bottom. So let's turn this around, and we might as well glue our back panel onto the card. This is our writing panel, so we might as well glue that onto the back of the card. Now it's out of the way. And again, making sure that it is the correct way up, which I didn't do beforehand. I have a bit of a rough edge on that one. So, okay, so that's there. We are going to now pop our bridge in. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold over our tabs on one end and fold it, push that through the slot, and then open our tabs up. And we're going to do exactly the same the other side. So we're going to fold our tabs under, push them through the slot, which you can see me trying very hard to do, and then open them up. That way they are open. What we didn't do, let's pull this out first, is we didn't put our back panel on. So let's move that out of the way over there. And we're going to glue our back panel on. So we need to make sure that this has got writing on both sides. So I'm putting the black one in and making sure my writing's up the right way, because I don't want the world to be upside down. We'll pop that in the back of the card. There we go, that looks a bit better. And now we'll pop that through. I really am making a mess of this one, aren't I? And we open those up. So we have our middle panel like so. So when that closes up, it's like so. Now we take our front panel of our card and we're going to turn it over and we're going to put our slots, our side bits through the slot on one side, turn it around, lift it a little bit and pop the other side through on the other one. There we go, that's our card. And that's our card there, and it says never too late in life to have an adventure. So that is really gorgeous. I'm just a little bit annoyed that can't see the words properly there, but that's how it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue this saying down in the very back of my card. And this just says, just saying hello. And I will just glue my feathers to the front there and there. So let's put some glue on, on those, on my feathers. The last one I put in a different place, but this time I'm going to put them this way. So when this closes, you just got to make sure that they do close nicely without bending your feathers. They didn't bend my feathers. So that's the front of my card. I'm now going to use one of these globes of the world and I'm going to glue that. It's already sticky on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it there. So I want to use a bit of white card, wherever I've got a piece of white card, just a tiny piece. And I'm going to pop in the corner there so that I can pop my globe there like so, and then I'm going to just trim around that so that it doesn't stick and it will be nice and firm. Sorry, I'm out of the picture. And there we go. So now it's not going to stick to the card underneath, and it's going to be nice and firm on that edge. So we will now put a couple more feathers. Let's see, what colour feathers? I think we might use these nice blue ones. Up here, one there, and the other one down here, along with these little blue compasses. And that is my card for today. I hope you've enjoyed that, even if I'm not pulling this end out. Oh, now why won't it pull? I'm holding on to the back. Duh. So that's my card for today, and I'm sorry if I feel you feel like I'm a little bit lost in this one, and I am a little bit lost in this card as it's a little bit more in depth than I would normally do for a card. So that's the other one. And there's my pink one, red one with my poppies on it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of thumbs down on this one because I feel like I've really made a big boo-boo of it. But let's see. If I'm not happy with the video, I might even end up chucking it in the bin. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I will be back next week with another video. I am a little bit uptight at the moment as I'm going into hospital next week, so it is a bit of a worrying time for me, especially with the situation that we have with people being sick with the COVID virus. So, but I can't help the fact that I have to go in. Okay, so there you go. That's the end of this project. Bye for now.